Alrighty, so I've just cut across the Pines picnic area. Beautiful area here behind me. Have managed to get a little bit of internet access, so I've decided, given that the forecast is saying that the rain should pretty well be settled now, I've decided I'm going to do the next trail. So this is the Pines walking trail. I believe this is the start of it. And I showed you earlier when I was coming back from the wildflower walking trail that the exit should be over that way somewhere. Now I'll be utilising Gaia GPS, as the VMS I think is pretty useless. I'm guessing this post here signifies part of the walking trail. Yeah, I believe the VMS is pretty useless towards this. So I'll be using Gaia GPS to try and guide me through the trail. I have done parts of this previously, but not all of it. So let's get started on this one. Starts off with a nice step over a log. Easy spot there if you need it. Now right away, straight up at the start of this, there's some spiny-headed mat rush. But for those of you that don't know, this is actually edible. I recommend doing this with two hands and making sure there's no arachnids in the bottom of it. But when you reach in, you can grab these sorts of pieces here, give it a pretty decent pull. This is why I recommend using two hands. It can cut. Alright, so what you get, these white sections at the bottom, this one's a bit tough there. See how that's the white section, that part just breaks straight off. You can eat that. You can suck on them and get a bit of moisture out of them. But you can eat that and they taste like green peas. It's only sort of a centimetre or so on the bottom of each leaf. There's another one I dropped there. So what I normally do is just run my fingers across. Where it breaks off, that's the part you can eat. So spiny-headed mat rush. Aboriginals used to use it for cordage and food. Again, the bottoms of them taste like green peas, raw, quite nice. Not a real strong taste, not sickening or anything, but yeah. So that's a spiny-headed mat rush, guys. You find that it's quite commonly used in agriculture. So quite often around car parks and shopping centres and things like that. And it's easily identifiable by the spiny head. Alright, that's a little snack to start with. Let's keep walking. Now you will notice this time around too, I've actually got the Sony action camera on the shoulder strap for my backpack. I've brought the bag this time, so I've got water, extra batteries, memory cards, all that sort of thing. So, and I've got the action camera, similar to a GoPro, sitting on the shoulder strap. So hopefully with the image stabilization and everything else, it will actually be pretty good and give you a nice clean image. Now, I'm guessing this here looks like it could be a snake burrow. I think somebody's already been through here this morning, although looking at that spider web that I almost walked into, maybe not. Now, I haven't actually done this trail before, but I heard a little bit of flowing water and just thought I'd have a quick look. When I say I haven't done this trail before, I haven't done this section of the trail. I've always come in from the Pines campground, which is quite a nice spot. I've never come in from the picnic area, so I haven't done the full trail, but I've done part of. So yeah, as I was walking down, just near the start, I heard a little bit of trickling water. Thought I'd come for a quick detour off. There's a pretty well-worn path already off there, and a little creek running through with a little bit of a waterfall at the bottom there. in, you come across this log. It's quite cool. I love the way the trees come down, but I love the lumps and everything on it. It looks cool. So given this is only a very short walk in, you can tell it's quite a moist area. Everything's covered in moss. It's beautiful. I haven't seen this section before. Well, of course I haven't. I haven't done this section of the trail before. Little naturally occurring bridge. Sorry, mud duck, I stole that from you, mate. A little bridge here. I'm guessing that takes you up into the pines or something. There's a little bit of a stream. A couple of little waterfalls. I'm kind of curious to go up that way and find out where it actually takes you, but at the same time I don't want to be too far off trail. So I might leave that one for a little bit later. Okay, now I know exactly where I am. I've done this section before. This is where I normally cross over. So I normally come from, try not to poke myself in the head, I normally come from over this direction. We come down and across the rocks here. So it looks like there might be another easier way in from the pines rather than the way I go. Love this little spot though. Let's go for a walk down here, eh? Well, of course we are. That's the direction the trail goes. Now I've seen this section in videos before, and obviously I've been here a couple of times before, but I have to say I've always seen the water clear. First time I've ever seen it so murky. I'm guessing again that's from the rain washing any loose debris from upstream down. Yeah, first time I've ever actually seen this murky like that. Now I'm going to jump across here. Last time around I went up there a bit further and crossed and sort of pushed my way through the scrub and came back down over here. This time around I'm just going to pop it across, so hope I don't fall on my ass. Okay, so the last time I did this walk I actually went down the bottom there to all the stones, the moss rocks and that down the bottom. And as mentioned, I was staying at Turpentine Campground, which is just up over that way. This trail, between the pines and Turpentine, there is a little waterfall. Doesn't look like all that much, but this is where that little waterfall flows out to and joins into this main creek. I believe this eventually joins Dora Creek and flows into Lake Macquarie. Quite a nice little fall that though, not flowing overly hard, but it's quite nice. So that flows up in between the pines and Turpentine Campgrounds. So this is where I went wrong last time. I'll just come back down here a little bit. I've just come from here. When I came up here last time, I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, righto. I looked at it, yeah, right. So here's a trail that's relatively well worn. Here's a trail that's not. So my thinking was the well-worn trail was the one that I needed to take. However, it turned out this was actually the one. Let's get Gaia GPS open now. And is it going to show up on the phone? There we go. Oop. Get me into position. Where are we? Oh, we're all the way down here. So you can see here where it takes the detour. That takes you to the end of Howes Road. I need to follow it through this way and come back. And that's where I went wrong last time. It took me to the end of Howes Road, whereas I needed to come this way instead. Gaia GPS, much better than VMS and better than Google. And here we are on the first of a couple of little bridges, or what were bridges. This side should still be, yeah, this side's a bit wobbly but solid. Just take your time. Maybe that'll go down to the bottom. Really not hard to see why I got turned around last time. This track, although for the most part it's pretty open, it's not overly well worn. I'm just going to go for a quick walk down here. I can hear water. I love waterfalls. There's another little bridge there. Was that the one I took last time? I think that actually is the one I took last time. This is where I started getting lost. So now, I don't know if you can see that or not, but there is a mark on the ground there saying the walking trail is this way. This is where I started getting lost last time because there's another track that goes off to the left up there. But this is definitely the one I needed. Spiderweb there. So this is, I think this is the second and the final little bridge from memory. Again, not in real good condition, so make sure when you're walking, try to make sure you stand on the beams. Alrighty, so I'm over the bridge. This is where I got dead lost last time. Doesn't look like anything goes through that way. Doesn't look like much goes through that way. But both sort of half resemble a path. I did go up that way last time and came to a dead end. So I came back and I tried it, and this turned out to be the correct way. Again though, I was using Google Maps at the time and it did get me turned around a little. I did get confused and lost. Sitting with Gaia GPS at the moment, I've just crossed that creek. Update my location, so I'm a little bit off path there, but not too far. And I'm in the correct direction. here's a little spot of interest. When you look around there, there's no water flowing down from above. You can see through the creek, there's no water flowing through there. And there it is, in a pool there running down. Now in a survivalist situation, from what I've been learning, if water's coming through from under the ground, it's pretty well safe to drink. I'm not going to go down there, I've got water in my bag so I don't need it. But in a survival situation, from what I'm understanding, again I'm no expert, but this water would be safe to drink because it appears to be coming from underground. And all bacteria and whatnot gets filtered out as it goes through the ground. It's actually quite a nice little spot. It comes down, goes down over a few little rocks and then a little bit of a waterfall just there. And down into the rest of it. And here we are. Puffed, sweaty, muggy, but back to the pines. I believe the picnic area is over there to the right. Yeah. There's that little campground spot I stopped and had a look at before. That memorial, actually there it is there. Memorial sign that I showed earlier was right there. Alrighty. Well, so that was the Pines walking trail. Quite like that. Nice to do the entire trail for once. It's not overly difficult again, but that's nice. Gotta go back and have some lunch. See yous. Alrighty, I'm back, thank God for that. First and foremost, I got pulled up on the way back here. A couple of young guys in a Navara. Unfortunately, a mate of theirs has gone missing. He's left some notes or something, and being that he loves this area or frequents up here, yeah, he's gone missing. Sent a gunmetal grey 60 series Land Cruiser, apparently. Not guaranteed he is up here, but they suspect he might be. So fingers crossed, guys, that he's found safe and well, and people's minds can be at ease, and yeah, hopefully everything goes all right. Unfortunately, I have heard of a few people that come up here and go missing or are found deceased, which it's not a nice thing. It's a beautiful place to come and clear your mind and help fight depression and stuff like that, but yeah, it's really not a nice thought that, you know, one of your loved ones could be up here and God knows where. Like, there's so many trails and tracks and campsites and things up here that it'd be near impossible to, if you really wanted to hide, you know, you'd be able to do it pretty easy, I think. So yeah, anyway, and fingers crossed, you know, he's found safe and well and alive. As I walked out of the trail back there, I had to pull over. After the first walk this morning, I thought I'd pull over, and this time around I took a pair of pliers, or my multi-tools, and I took a lighter with me. The reason I did that is because when I got back here on the first walk, I had 2 leeches on me. Not actually on my skin, fortunately, they were both on my shoes. But nevertheless, I had leeches on me. So I thought I'd take the pliers and the lighter, because from what I remember, you grab them with the pliers and heat their ass up and they let go. So I did that. When I pulled out, I came out of the pines then. When I came out of that trail then, I looked down and I had one climbing up my pants leg and another one on my boot. Oh, sorry, on my sock. So it had gotten under the pants and up onto the sock. I've checked up to about my knees and can't see any others, can't feel anything, so fingers crossed I've got no others on me. If I do, I guess I'll find them later. But yeah, a pair of pliers and a lighter, always a good thing to carry, and then you can pluck the leeches, especially after so much wet weather. Really keep your eye out for them, because they're bound to be around. First time I've ever actually had issues with leeches though, so, but yeah, they're bound to be around. So alright, I'm going to make myself some lunch, guys, and relax for a while. Peace. Alright guys, that's it from me tonight. I've had a pretty decent day, I'm happy. I managed to do the Wildflower Walking Trail and the Pines Walking Trail. I've had a nice feed, even though I didn't bother with the fire tonight. I figured all the wood's wet, so I'll give it a bit more time to try and dry out. But yeah, I did the couple of walking trails I was hoping to. Tomorrow I think I'll do Abbott's Falls. It's a much longer walk. It's going to be a much more difficult walk. But I think I'll do that tomorrow. Then I've got Thursday and Friday basically to relax. And do bugger all. And Friday I catch up. I've got to go and restock a little bit, and I catch up with Jerry. So that'd be good. Haven't seen Jerry in ages. It's been over a year, 2 years, coming up on 2 years I think. It's been since I've seen Jerry. So yeah, it'd be good to catch up with him. Yeah, alright, so that's it for me tonight. That's the end of my day too. I'll see you guys on day 3. Make sure to hit subscribe and hit that little bell for notifications so you know when that comes out. Alright, peace guys, and I'll see you out there on the tracks.